Just gonna make sure you can hear me. Hey, Alaska Dave. Hey, anybody else here? Just gotta wait because there's a stream delay, of course. Okay, it sounds like you can hear me. Welcome, everybody. Alaska Dave, you gotta pick the airport. So start thinking. I've been thinking, I don't know. Anything works, really. Not too small, not too big. We're gonna start in the 172. If you haven't gathered from the title and thumbnail, we're just gonna be practicing some landings today. I used to be decent, never great, especially when I did a lot of career mode and landing constantly. And Tour of the World, you know, I had some good landings, some bad landings, depending on the episode. Then I took quite a big break from Flight Sim and streaming in general. And when I got back into it, I was mostly playing Tour of the World. And in that series, it can sometimes be a couple hours in between each landing, and I only do one or two in every episode. So they honestly weren't great, and it was kind of like, well, you know, it was good enough. Hopefully we do better next time. And that obviously isn't much practice. So wanted to do a quick stream, you know, quick as in like a couple hours. Depends how long I have time for it today. Just solely focusing on landing and just actually getting back to at least the skill I was at, hopefully. Who knows, maybe I won't. Mostly worried about airliners, like, because I always flare too late or float a bit too much, but we're going to start off in a 172 and then we'll switch over to probably a 737 and then a wide body like the A350, which I've still hardly ever flown that plane despite buying it. So I'm just going to go somewhere in Ontario. I don't want to go to Toronto, it's kind of big. Let's go like Windsor or Sarnia. Yeah, I took the thumbnail just landing at this runway here. Seemed decent. It's a good size. It's open fields before, so it's easy to see it, obviously. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll just work with runway 33 here. Now I have to remember the exact landing speeds for 172. I think it's like 65 knots, around that. So we're just going to start right away. I'm going to do most of the flights like as you just saw, clicking the arrival and fly now, so it starts me on final, and then I can just focus on the final part of it. So I'm not sure how good I'll be with a Cessna. Honestly, I haven't landed one in a while. It's a little bit easier just because it's more reactive, obviously. So let's make sure our flaps are down all the way. I'm gonna pause real quick and turn the music down slightly here. Alright, now let's trim down, because, whoa, we are, put some power in real quick. There we go. Trim back a little bit. So I know we need to keep it at 65 knots. So we'll do that by pitching and control the distance just with the throttle. Which again, like, I know the theory, but actually doing it is something different. And doing it smoothly and not floating on the whole runway. So we got 2 and 2 lights right now, 2 white, 2 red. But we're slowing down actually, so I'm already not doing that right. I feel like it needs to be slower just based on that speed tape. I feel like it needs to be closer to the stall speed for final landing, but I was thinking it was 65 for this plane. Maybe I'm mistaken. So we're a little low, and slow. So let's give it some power here. Alright, we're still at 65. But we're still low. It's gonna be lots of the same commentary, I imagine. Unfortunately, we're higher for too low. But mostly just here to hang out with you guys, practice the landings. Feel free to give me suggestions or hints or just hang out. Might not talk as much as other streams. I probably will end up yapping a whole bunch, but there's not as much to talk about. But we'll see. I don't want to be annoying and just say the same thing over and over. Alright. Looking pretty good here. We're going a little slow. Let's pitch down. Add a little power. Start bringing the power back now. They're a little high. It's about to do that right before the light change, so I'm glad that I didn't say it, but I did have the correct judgment there at least. We have no wind. Let's start to level out here and bring the throttle back. Completely cut the throttle. Ooh, okay. Already a bit of a rough touchdown. But we're in the center, that's good. We're in the touchdown zone in the center. Those are two good things if we didn't break the landing gear. So, that's good. Let's see, maybe I should do this properly. Let's do a touch and go and we'll fly again. Instead of resetting. I plan on just resetting it, but why not take off again? I did set my flaps back one, I believe. No, I didn't. Oops. It does mean a bunch of flying back to get on final again, but probably gonna do a short pattern for at least the 172. I might reset with an airliner because otherwise it's gonna be lots of turning. But a little bit less menus and loading screens if I just do a touching, not a touch and go. I'll do a full stop landing and then take off again. Adjust the music one more time because I turned it down from 3% or 4% to 1, and now it's not audible. There we go. And now I can't. My YouTube just reset. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't see who was here. There we go. Let's set the flaps to 0 here. Welcome everybody. Thanks for joining the stream already. Lots of boats on the water today. Oh, hold on. Alaska Dave, I see you sent a message. But my chat, I don't see it in my actual chat. Hold on. Let me reset it. Sorry. If anyone sent a message, I'll see it in a second. It's not loading in. There we go. Ben left. Welcome. I was wondering when the 737 tutorials will be. I actually was going to record it today, and I don't have enough time to do that, so I'm just doing this. But I was watching some refreshers and practicing, so it'll be soon. I can actually promise that now because I'm working on it. Appreciate it. Remember, pitch for speed and use throttle to control your descent rate. Yeah, I definitely need to go out further than I am here. I don't even know where the runway is at this point because I paused it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Whoops. I think we'll try to do a quick a short landing here, and then we're gonna just reset and do start on final so I can have a good approach every time. This will be a good challenge. I set my flaps.
500.
Let's do a slip. I'll try to at least. From what I remember, they weren't doing a ton. That seems actually be working pretty well. Yeah, this seems to be dropping my altitude pretty quickly, actually. Stop doing that. Coming in pretty slow, so I think this is not going to be very great. Power up a little bit, actually. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to reset and do the thing I did before, set arrival and then fly now. So I can get a good straight line up. Because otherwise I just turn in too early, I get impatient. Come on, why won't it let me choose it? There we go. Flies arrival, there we go. Might do a little bit of flying in the Vision Jet too, because it's a bit of a quicker landing before we move on to something bigger after this. But I want to get at least 2 good landings before I move on. Alright, let's give it some power here. This does give a pretty good distance for a final with a 172. takes a good amount of time to get to the runway still, but that's okay. Rather too much time than too little. Alright, let's start slowing down. And put all the flaps in. We'll trim a little bit to actually level it out. There, we're full flaps now. Let's not stall immediately. I'm trying to trim more than use my yoke once the flaps are in, which I don't almost never do, which is probably really not great. I should be trimming more. Okay, let's pitch for speed here. 65.
500.
We got 2 and 2. Don't know what percent of thrust I'm at really. Got only 1 knot of headwind and 1 knot of crosswind, so it's almost like nothing. Okay, I'm already not focusing. I gotta pitch down. It's just so counterintuitive, obviously, because I'm gonna go towards the ground, but I need to throttle up then. Let's go, 65. There we go. I need to get used to putting the nose in the ground a little bit at least, and then just adding power instead of pitching up to make it there. Such a rookie mistake, but it feels natural to do that. Okay. Now let's start to bring the power back. Now we're still over 60 knots here. I feel like we're going too slow. I don't know what the final touchdown speed should be. Maybe I shouldn't drop the power out like that. I guess that wasn't too hard. I'll hit the brakes fully. And we'll just reset. So should I be at 65 the whole time, even like right down to right when I hit the ground, or should I, once I'm like leveling out, let it drop down to, I don't know, 50, 40? I should just restart here. A faster way of doing that. That was better than the first one in terms of descent rate. Like actually hitting the ground. Alright, put the flaps fully out. Throttled up quite a bit as well. I feel like we should get closer to like 55 knots right at the end. A little bit high, so let's not pitch down. Let's throttle down. Maintain our speed.
500.
Yeah, we're staying right around 65. That's good. We're a little below and we're in the red, so let's pitch down for the speed, but throttle up as well. We got 4 reds. We're definitely coming in a little shallow here. Feels like too much power to be adding now, though. Try to get a better descent rate, air touchdown rate. That wasn't great. We hit the left wheel first. But we were faster on that one. We weren't touching down right at like 60. Which I feel like if we're still at like 55, it's going to go back up, and it wasn't, which is good. But I think I just need to use more power than I was using, for sure. I'll try that at least one more time. Like I'm definitely better at landing this than linears, and that's what we're struggling with, so I do want to focus mostly on those, but of course it's great to do the fundamentals in a smaller plane. I'll just go full power for a second here. Alrighty, now we'll start slowing down. We'll start using our flaps too. I believe the approach speed is around 90 knots anyways, that's what we should be at.
500.
Once you cross the threshold of the runway, you should be idle power and will use a little if you need to stop descending. Okay. Perfect. 1 second, my YouTube just did something weird again. There we go. Let's do second stage of flaps, a little bit late. Let's pitch up. Let's get that 65 knots. Put some power in. I should not be close to idle right now. We're still red. Okay, now we're 2 and 2 at least. Not that I don't trust these lights with my life in this game, but still a better reference than what I would know initially. Shine a little bit. Alright, threshold the runway. Let's go idle power now. I'm still not great with the like the height, like my altitude, when to actually flare. Still flaring too late sometimes. I'll do at least one more. That at least lets me stop focusing on the throttle as soon as we hit the threshold, which is important because I'm focused a bit too much on the speed once I hit that, and I think that's a problem because then I don't focus on the runway and when to flare. And make sure I'm ready to use my rudder as well. This game looks so good. I always forget when I don't play it for a bit. Alright. Let's set our flaps. I'm full idle right now just to get down to speed. Just we started so far away, I'll go full power for a minute just to get a little closer. Let's get our speed down, then we'll focus on how much power to add back in when we need to. I don't think I was full flaps actually, now I am. Okay, some power is in, we're like maybe 30%, 40%. We're at 65 now. We're gonna need to add more though. We're still high, but descending pretty quick. Yeah, we're coming onto the glide path now. go, so let's add a bunch of power. Just focus on that 65. We're low, so let's add power. Yeah, really low. 65, let's keep it. Okay. Still going slow. Slower than I should be at this part. That's closer to 65 there. We're at 61 by the runway, so let's go idle. Let's focus on actually not slamming us to the ground this time. Better. It felt better anyway. Maybe I should have that thing on where it says my feet per minute. I'm not sure if that's a mod or not. I've actually never had that on before. Let's hop off the stacks over here. Oh, it's a runway. Alright, anyways, I'm going to switch to the Vision Jet. We're going to keep it small for now. But it's going to be a faster landing speed. And try to focus on flaring, so we'll use auto throttle for this. Maybe we won't actually. I was going to say we will at first and then we'll switch out. Maybe I just won't. Let's land from the other side now. Just for something else. Oh, that's going to give us a full arrival path. Never mind. There we go. Let's just keep doing this. So I gotta look at the speed bugs, but I think this is like 95 or 91 or something. Should be the rate. The speed. Q1000 on the side at every altitude. While your VSI. I should actually use that. Yeah. 91. Let's trim down. Throttle down. We're already at 50% flaps. Let's do full flaps. Oh, much further from the runway actually. Let's not do full flaps yet. Actually gonna go full power. Let's get over there. We're gonna do it multiple times. Bring it back a little bit here. Let me set my zoom so I actually know how far I am. .5 miles. Set this for 5 miles now. Bring the power back and get our flaps out. Should actually have the map out here. I don't remember how to get that on here. This just use this small one in the corner. Alright, we're full flaps now. We seem high, but I think we're around the glide slope very, very top of it. Now we're a little higher. We're obviously very far still. I'm gonna trim way down here. Just trying to trim it down. There we go. We're gonna pitch down for some speed. We're obviously gonna have to add some power and then back in a minute. Oh, you know what? I think the autopilot was on. That's why. That just clicked off now. It was fighting me when I was trying to go down. Now we're actually low. Sorry, I need to pitch this way down. I'm not sure why it's doing the opposite. There we go. I think the autopilot was resisting me trimming before. Let's put the landing gear down. Let's try to maintain the right speed. I need to obviously throttle up because we're low, but I also need to pitch down because we're slow. There we go, 90. Thank you, Alaska Dave. No worries. Let's pitch down more for more speed, but we need to throttle up significantly here. We'll maintain, now we'll pitch up, maintain 90 knots. First landing in a Vision in a long time. So this one, the first one's it's not going to be pretty. Alright, don't go outside. Pitch up, let's get the 90 knots back. Alright. We're still low, we're staying at the right speed though. Try to trim down a little bit. We're on the glide path, so let's maintain that. We're gonna pitch down. I shouldn't have throttled down that much. I forgot how fast this plane reacts, despite it being a jet engine. Idle here. A little bit late on idle power, but it's okay. We'll float a little bit. Float a lot actually, yeah. Pretty late for it. Let's restart that. It's of course more sensitive to speed than the 172, but gotta be idle earlier than that. Speed up again to begin with here. This plane is so powerful. Forget that sometimes you can always climb it right away, but if you don't climb with it and full throttle, it's quick. Bring the power back so we don't go over 250. Just at like 30-something% thrust, and we'll wait to get a lot closer, slowly bleed off the speed. Just over 5 miles away. Thrust back a little more here. Got our 150, we'll do our first stage of flaps. I think it's actually 180, so let's do that now. And under 150, we'll do more. There we go, and I'm also going to make gear out, so we'll throttle up a little bit. It's a lot more drag. We're going to keep letting the speed bleed off until we get to 90. About 92 knots or so, and then we'll try to maintain that as best we can and throttle as we need to reach the runway. letting it bleed off for now. Once we get there, I'm also going to try to trim the aircraft a little better, which I'm doing now. Throttle up. So we're low on the glide path. Pitch up though to maintain it. I want to be at low 90s, not 93. Even lower, like 91 if we can. So let's pitch up a little more. There we go. So you're always trying to pitch for your speed. So if I want 91 and I'm going too fast, I want to pitch up. Too slow, I want to pitch down. And then use the throttle to actually reach the runway. Control your elevation. To kind of treat it separately in your mind. We're still low, so let's add a little throttle in. Of course, it's going to want to speed up, so that's why you pitch up to maintain 91, which of course gets you further. But you wouldn't just want to pitch up to get further without having that speed. And just because I know the theory of it doesn't mean I will do well. So I'll have our hand on the throttle. Let's keep that 91. Trying to watch the lights, but it's hard to see when I'm pitching up. Yeah, I was waiting for 2 and 2 so I can bring the throttle back here. We'll maintain that 91, but of course we'll start to go down now, even though we're at the same speed, to bring the throttle back. Oh, okay, now we're getting too low, so I need to pitch down. Naturally, I pitched up to make it further, but it's not how you do it. Such a natural reaction, I mess it up even if I'm saying not to do it. Okay, we're at 91, we're on the glide path. This is at least a good approach. Okay, I'm going to bring the power back just slightly here. And now I'm going to bring it back to idle. We're going to go off here. Flare. Okay. A little bit of a bounce, but it wasn't too hard of a landing. This thing doesn't have reversers, does it? I will obviously could break at this point, but I'm not going to, since we're just going to restart. Much, much better than the first one, especially the approach I was happy with. Kept the speed where I wanted it. Alright, let's go ahead and reset. Throw it in the dirt. See if this thing can drift. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, let's restart. Again, we'll just throttle up for just maybe, as soon as we hit 200, we'll throttle down again, just to skip maybe a mile or two. The approach is putting us like 15 miles out. It's a little bit much. See, it wants to climb. If I don't touch the yoke or don't trim anything, it'll start to go up. Actually, we're on autopilot still, so makes sense. We'll let it climb. Let's go to like 2,500 or so. More than that. And throttle back. This will help with our approach angle a little bit. It'll be a little different. Not be as shallow since we're not at 2,000, we're at 3. Let me just check the flap speed is 190. It is. So let's set our first stage of flaps done. We're at 43% thrust, as you can see in the top left. Our speed's coming down. Wait till we get like 150 and set the second stage. Pitch up to maintain that speed coming down. Let's bring the thrust down a little bit here. There we go. It's the second stage of flaps, which is obviously going to slow us down quite a bit. So I'm not trying to bring the throttle down too far. We are coming in much higher this time. Since, I mean, 3,000 is not high, but we were only at 2,000 before, so obviously 1,000 is a significant difference. Okay, and now as we get closer, let's throw the gear down. So we're fully configured. And I'm going to trim the aircraft. I'm using the button on my yoke for that. So I don't have to put any yoke inputs to be level here. Or at least close to it. There we go. Alright, now we're going just over 90 where we want to be at, so let's pitch up to lose that speed. We'll see where our path is at that point. There we go, 91, so we're going to pitch down. We want to maintain that. Obviously it was going to keep going down if I did that, so we're going to probably need to add some power, but we'll just keep it at 91 for now and see, maybe not. We're at 25% thrust. Yeah, it's just very counterintuitive if you've never done it before, or if you're new to it, or haven't done it in a while like me. You just want to control that speed by pitching, not using the throttle. You control your elevation with your throttle. But again, do as I say, not as I do. Unless I land well. Okay, so let's pitch down. We're getting a little slow. I already tell it we're going to need a little more throttle, even though we're high right now. But we'll wait till we get on the glide path to really add more throttle if we need it. So let's just keep it around where it is. Keep pitching up and down to make it 91. Obviously I'm going back and forth quite a bit. It's not the best strategy.
500.
I'm very rusty. There we go. We got one red light. We pitch down more though. So we're losing speed. And there's two, so now we're going to add more throttle. Of course we want to stay at 91, so it's going to start to speed up, so we need to pitch up to maintain the speed. See, we're actually a little low now, but it's okay. We're going to try to maintain that speed, pitch down a little bit. We are low, so we need to add more throttle. Our speed's looking good. We're quite low. Add a bunch more thrust. Now we'll start to bring it back, so we're just about there anyway. Let's go idle power here. Bring it over a little bit to the center line. I think I'm flaring a little bit too much or too early. Use the rudder to maintain the center line. Definitely smaller movements than I just did are ideal. Again, not too rough. I can still kick the front wheel up a little bit, but the last one was a little better than that one, that's for sure. So let's restart again. I'm definitely going to try to focus on probably the 737 the most, the narrow body airliner. Then go to the A350. I'm really not great with wide body airliners. Just the height difference in the cockpit. You touch down so much earlier, I'm really not used to it. Let's do what we've been doing. Flaps out, off. Full throttle for a minute here. Let's get ourselves up to 3,000. In fact, we'll do this. Let's actually use autopilot, so let's go to 3,000 here. Say 3,500 even. Autopilot's on, let's do FLC. It's gonna go to the ideal climb rate of 165 knots. Of course we're at full power, so it really has to pitch up to get to that speed. We're gonna climb real fast. Let's even turn auto throttle on. So we're almost at 3,500 here. This time, you know what, let's use auto throttle a couple times and focus on pitch. So let's go to manual instead of FMS speed and bring it down to, say, 145 right now. Or we're going to say 160, and now we're under 190, so I'm going to do one stage of flaps. Actually, we're getting pretty close, so let's bring it down right to like 125 for now. And we'll do our second stage of flaps. That was nice, but the flare felt too early. Yes, Viter, that's definitely a good point. That's what it felt like that for me as well. I keep doing that. I either slam it down too late or it's too early. The flare is absolutely what I need to work on the most. All right, let's bring it actually all the way down to its final descent speed of 91. I need to turn the altitude hold off, obviously, otherwise the auto throttle is going to keep going up. Let's bring it to 91. Let's turn the altitude hold off. So hopefully, I can't remember if this plane can just do auto throttle. I think it can. So it's actually nose down. Now this is the opposite. Obviously, we're nosing down to go down because we're using auto throttle. So auto throttle going to kick itself off. Yes, okay, so it is autopilot, auto throttle connected. There might be a way to do auto throttle without autopilot, besides an ILS, of course. It obviously can land on its own, but I'm not going to do that. It's a little bit pointless for the episode, for this stream. Appreciate all the support, by the way, everyone joining the stream. Welcome. It's always nice to have folks come hang out. It'll be just 1 second. Sorry guys, I'll be back to the stream in probably 2 minutes. Sorry about that. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. Let's resume. Let's turn the camera back on. Alright, now I gotta recompose myself here. There we go. Bit of a mess. Our flaps are fully configured. When we trim the aircraft down, it's really wanting to pitch up. Let's get it down to that, or up to that 91 knots. We're at idle power right now. That's gonna have to change soon. We're not too far off of the glide slope, I can tell, so I'm gonna give it some thrust so we kind of go into the glide slope a lot more calmly instead of we're too high and then we're too low immediately. So let's give it maybe 30-40% thrust, pitch up, maybe a little less. I'm watching my descent rate here. Yeah, we're gonna need less than that. Pretty close to it. I know we're all 4 whites right now. We are high.
500.
But again, last time we were too high and then we immediately became too low. We're going down at 1,000 feet per minute. Yeah, so now we're on the red light, so I'm going to throttle up a little bit here. Still pitching to maintain that 91 knots. And there we go. We're on the glide slope. So we'll throttle down a little bit. Trying to pitch down, trim down still. I'm pushing the throttle, the yoke quite a bit. Sorry, I'm mixing my words up here. Trying to focus on the landing. Hey, History Ben, how you doing? Let's go idle here. It's not flare yet. It's a small little plane, big runway. There we go. No, definitely a little bit quick still. That was not good. It's the worst of the three, actually. Oh, well, that would do it. All right, let's ignore that one. We'll say because I stepped away for a second, I missed a possibly crucial step. I'll try at least one more with the Vision Jet. I shouldn't move on from it unless I'm doing decently, though. I was happy with the second landing. We love belly landings, yeah, 100%. That's what we're here to learn. Let's do a bit of a roll here.
Sink
Why
rate.
not?
Sink rate. Pull
Gotta
up.
get closer to the airport.
Pull up. Pull up.
We're good. I'm doing well as well. That's a crucial part to a good landing, by the way. It's a barrel roll. Alright, let's try slowing down earlier this time. Are you using the Boeing yoke? Yes, I am. I got the Thrustmaster Boeing yoke and throttle. And I love it. It's great. I definitely recommend it. I'm trying to figure out how to start playing my YouTube scan. I don't like having history events my tag in here. I think you can change your display name too, even if it's like your app. I don't think you can change it per like, you know, thing you're watching or anything. I'm not sure if you're talking about that, but you should be able to set anything as your display name, even if you want to be at, like at Streetman. That was a good roll. Didn't realize the Vision Jet had it. I honestly didn't think it was gonna make it either. Judging by how it fell halfway through. But I had to give it some right rudder, which definitely sent me towards the ground a little bit, but completed the roll. Alright, let's get fully configured here. So we're 2 stages of flaps. Actually put the gear down this time. We're at 30% of thrust. Now let's get it down to 91 knots. Bring it up to 30%. Maybe a little bit less. Of course we're high, so we want to go down, but I keep being at about 25%, and by the time I hit the glide path, I go past it. I get too low too quick, so let's try 30 something percent. 33 maybe, 34, there we go. Throttle's very sensitive for the Vision Jet. I just like touch the throttle and it goes up a couple percent. Okay, we're on the glide path already. But we were going too fast, so let's pitch up. And I'll trim up as well. I'm pushing the button on my yoke to trim, so if I were to let go of my yoke right now, it's going to nosedive, so I want to trim to where when I let go, I'm flying straight and level. Yeah, see, I'm still not at that point, so now we're going up. There we go. So now when I let go, we don't sink, which is great. Okay, we're a little high, so we're basically at 90 knots. Let's pitch down a little bit. Read your message in just a second, Brian. Appreciate it. Cool, I use the honeycomb output. I find myself wanting a Boeing. Almost a GA, but appetite is changing. Fair enough, that's a great yoke too. I mean, especially if you have both and you can interchange them and use the honeycomb for GA. I mean, it's a great yoke though, as well. I haven't used one honestly, but I have seen it a lot, and got very good recommendation from it. Okay, hold on, I gotta throttle up because I'm a little bit slow here. So let's pitch down, get that speed up, throttle up to get the altitude up. That wasn't as good of an approach as others. Let's just focus on the flare here. Okay, crossing the threshold, let's go to idle. Let's actually stay in the center this time. No, I'm still going up more than I'd like. landing that'll kill anybody, but not landings I'm incredibly pleased with. But acceptable. Better than when I was in the Truly World Series. We had some pretty bad slamming on the ground moments. Not getting used to that, you know, pitch for speed. I'm gonna switch out to the 737 now. Doesn't mean we won't go back. I'm just gonna get a good variety, get a good few landings of each type. I don't want to get too ingrained in one plane and not be able to switch it up. Obviously, this is much different. But I've been struggling with the airlines recently too, and I used to be decent, pretty decent. There we go. But especially the wide bodies, I really don't fly many. And when I got the A350, it was like my first time flying them, and that was really bad. So we'll see. I should be better with the 737. Appreciate the support for the stream, everyone. Thanks for being here. I'm going to be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. My partner just got home, so I'm just going to say hi. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back a little bit faster than I anticipated. Let's go ahead. We got the Alaska Airlines. What do we want to do? Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate you sticking around when I was gone for a second there. What do I got? I got a lot of different ones. Should we do American? Do I have any Canadian ones here? We're in Canada right now. Let's see. No, I don't. I'll do American Airlines here. Why not? Alright. This is going to be completely different now than what I was just doing. But that's the point. I don't want to get perfect at one plane and unable to land other planes even like safely. So let's just give this a shot here. Now I don't know how far we're starting. Alright, we're fully configured, or at least no, we're not. We're gear down. Okay. So I believe we need to touch down about 140. Now this is going to be totally different, so expect a few to absolutely flop here. I'm going to throttle fully down here. I'm going to set my flaps to full immediately. We might overspeed them. No, we're not. We're definitely below that. Let's put the pitch down quite a bit. So it really wants to go nose up right now. Now this is a plane that we can use auto throttle on its own, so let's do that for now. What is going on with that? Oh, we're on autopilot, I see. Yeah, we're not going to stall. You're good. Pitch down. Yep, we're good. Why is it looking like that? I don't know why the 8 is flashing. It's weird. I've never seen that before. Let's go down to like, what, 145. Auto throttle is good. Zone landing, full flaps. Perfect, okay. Let's try it. 145, here we go. Speed intervention. Now it does. Okay, good. We don't need autopilot on for the auto throttle, so that's great. So I am going to pitch down quite a bit, which is obviously pretty different than what we were just doing, because you don't want to pitch down normally, but with auto throttle you do, because it's going to control the throttle for us. So we're at 145, we're at full flaps, we're quite high, so we're going to try to fix that here. There we go. It finally gave me some control, so now we don't have to pitch down as much as that. Our gear is down. We got our speed brakes out right now. Not sure why. There we go. There's beautiful. Alright, let's stop focusing on that. Let's actually land this thing. Yes, auto brakes. Forgot about that as well. And I haven't played Flight Sim in so long. Where are they? Oh, I don't remember where they are. I know where they're somewhere around here. I need to pause this for a second. This is the weirdest approach ever, by the way. Fully am aware of that. Oh, that's why I can't see it. It's fine there. We're gonna go to 3 because we're gonna go to max. Actually, it's a very short runway. Perfect, thank you. Alright. The next approach is gonna be better than this, that's for sure. Just trying to get used to what it's starting us off with. But obviously we're not at idle power right now. We need to pitch down more then, because we can handle that descent rate. It's still putting power in.
Sink rate.
Alright, let's try to get lined up better for this here. We're going to start catching the glide slope soon, so let's slowly level out here, and here the throttle will wind itself up. Let's pitch the aircraft with it. Oh wow, that's very sensitive. Good to know. The pitch is very, very sensitive.
Sink rate.
Yes, I know.
500.
Wow, okay, I'm going to disengage out of throttle actually, because it's just spooling up completely. This is going to be the worst landing of them all, but it's good because we'll have
Sink rate 300. Sink rate.
good base position here.
200.
Oh god, yeah, we're not even going to make it to the runway.
100. Approaching minimums.
If we make it to the runway, that's fine.
30.
We survived.
20.
Ryanair can hire me for this one. Oh yeah. Let's just say that made it. Maybe not. Maybe it didn't. The auto brake is on max and we're on reverse thrust. Alright. Let's ignore that one. We're still on auto brake here. I should try to use the recorder. I've never used it. Alright, let's restart. That whole approach was really skewed, trying to mess with the auto throttle. I might honestly go fully manual here. Pretty smooth though, yeah, I guess. Into the grass. Alright. Let's give it a little throttle. Actually, we're not. It started so high up. Almost 10,000 feet here. It's definitely not a benefit. So let's just immediately pull back though. That speed's climbing, so we want to obviously get it to 145. So we're gonna not even look at the runway. Just pitch up to get that speed down. We get right. That's what's going on. We're autopilot. Don't want that. Give me throttle control, please. There we go. Okay, we're at 145. Set our flaps now to full. That's going to cut our speed real quick. But we really need to. We're very high up right now. You watch that vertical speed is going to go crazy. Oh, I did not want to open that. I did not want to open that. Maybe I do. Let's try this. I've never done it. We can monitor it from the outside. Minimize it. I feel like I've closed it. I've tried it once and I closed it and it didn't work, but I don't think that's why, but who knows. Let's keep it open. Okay, we're going too slow. We're going 130. Full flaps in gear. Set the speed brakes forward to arm them. Set the auto brake, which I can hardly see now, to max. There we go. Alright. We're really descending as quickly as we can. We're still going 10 knots too slow, so let's pitch down a little bit more, honestly. Try to get up to 145. Which we're at now. Try to maintain that. Down to maintain that 145. We're a little bit slow. We can get a little bit of throttle. We're of course still too high now, but we're gonna hit that glide slope pretty aggressively here. So we're descending very quickly, 3,100 feet a minute. So you'll see we're still gonna maintain 145, but that vertical speed's gonna go a lot lower. So we're now only at 2,500. We're still at 145. Not go too short this time. This obviously takes a long time to build these engines. We're still going 145. Yeah, not messing with autopilot is a lot better. Auto throttle. When you're obviously just starting on the arrival, you're not getting the whole flight to prepare. To pitch down because we are going too slow now. So I gotta throttle up here. Obviously much slower to react, so I need to be ready for that. We're still too high though, so
500.
Don't want to slam into the ground. It's a short runway.
400. Sink rate.
Let's increase the throttle a little bit. We're gonna float a little bit, but I don't want to slam it.
200.
We really got to cut the throttle right away when we start next time because it starts very high.
50, 40,
Just confirms.
30, 20, 10.
Yeah, that's not going to be good at all. Just starts us way too high. There's a dude outside. See this slam here. The tail strike. Reverser with the wheelie. Before we restart. I wonder if I can change the how far of a final it starts us with here, because it's a little bit too far for general aviation, but a little bit too close for this, or maybe just not start me at 10,000 feet right here. Let's do ready to fly, but I'm gonna end the flight and just see. I mean, of course I could just choose my starting point, so set that as arrival. What can I do here? Or if I just set this as departure, like over here. Oh, okay, there we go. Perfect. So now it doesn't matter what elevation starts us at. Well, unless it's over 10,000. Obviously, that wouldn't be good. I'm just making sure we're good. There we go. Alright. Just like these airliners, too complicated. It's a whole table telling you to fly config for the landing, current conditions. Sure, let me look at that. Flaps 40 under 166 knots. I'm definitely going to be at flaps full for this runway, at least like flaps 40. Usually I do 30, but this is such a small one. Let's just have it while we're paused. Let's set auto brake to max and set our speed brake to armed. That's down. Armed. I thought armed was all the way forward, so yeah. That's the reason why I need a minute here before I do the 737 tutorial. Alright. Let's set just some flaps for now. Let's disengage autopilot. Bring down the HUD. Let's record this here. Push down. So we're going like the right speed here. Just set more flaps. Can't even see the airport. It's good though, I started further away for sure. Oh, there it is over there. This should be much better. Okay, let's set more flaps because we're stalling here. But we're at the right speed for what we want at the end. Hopefully means we can make a much gentler path. Glide path. Let's give it some throttle. Since obviously we're very far. We'll go full flaps a little bit early, of course, but we want to be fully configured. Then we can just worry about the glide path. Pitch down because I'm holding the yoke forward lots. I keep forgetting to trim. Let's trim up now. Trying to get that dialed in. Okay. Very, very sensitive to this plane. Wow. Alright. Let's pitch down, get some more speed. I can tell we're going to need some more throttle. So much slower acting, of course, on a smaller plane. But despite my landings not being perfect in smaller planes, they're much better than they are in airliners right now. That's why my main focus is airliners. And it's also what we use on the Tour of the World series on a lot of streams since we're going quite far. If you aren't familiar with my channel, I'm doing a series where I'm traveling the entire world and seeing every single landmark that I can think of and Jack can think of. And we're at least landing in every single state, every country in the world. At least once, obviously different countries more than once. It's been a lot of fun. We're almost over 50 hours into the series. We've done all of southern Canada, and we're working on the northern states. We just saw Mount Rushmore, or Microsoft's Flight Sim's version of it, which was actually nothing, unfortunately. But yeah, if you're interested in that, it's a very long series. It'll take a long, long time to complete, but it's been fun. You can find that on my channel, or my career mode series. Appreciate you guys coming by and watching, hanging out with me. Alright, well, we're going 140. It's a little bit slow, but we're only going 1,200 feet a minute down, which is much better. Much calmer. Let me pause again here. Is everything configured? This is armed. Is it armed? No. Now it's armed. That's on max, auto brake. Landing lights are on, not that that matters right now. We're not worried about procedure. Otherwise I'd just be doing an ILS landing. Trim down a little bit here. Our speed's a little better now, 143, not 140. Trim is extremely sensitive, so I'm trying to get used to that. Trimming down right now, that's no yoke input. If I trim up, it's too much, so I'm not going to do that. Push the throttle a little higher. And we're going the right speed. Our flaps are fully down, gears down. Trying to aim that circle at the threshold of the runway, so we're doing pretty good here. I can see the lights are 2 and 2, which is good. We're going a little slow, so let's pitch down. We'll throttle up as well because I know I'll need to.
1,000.
Trying to be very gentle with the throttle. It does take so long to react that I think I'm being a little bit too gentle right now. But I also overdo it a lot, so try not to do that. Okay, we're going the right speed. Low 140s. We go a little bit to the left here and then turn in. We're a little bit low, so let's throttle up a little bit here. Not too much. I'd rather be a little low than a little high for this runway.
500.
Definitely say as I do, not as I do.
400.
Jeez. Do as I say, not as I do. We're still a little low.
300.
Speed's pretty good. Bring the power back though.
200.
Now, slightly. Not too much, the power is still low.
Approaching minimums. 100.
Okay, let's bring the power way back now.
50.
Bring
40.
it to idle.
30. 20. 10.
Okay, well, wasn't the worst landing, much better than before. Slamming the nose gear down a little bit, but again, I gotta get used to the elevation. Like, we're touching down earlier than I think, because obviously I'm sitting much higher off the ground. But much better than the last one, so making progress here. We'll just come to a full stop. I can turn my auto brake maybe to 3 instead of max next time. Clearly don't need max with the reversers as well. Yeah, much better. Happy with that. So let's check out how to do this. I've never done it. Am I recording or not? It says I am, but okay. Stop recording. How do I save it? Watch it. Oh, okay, cool. Let's see how bad it was from the outside. I've never actually done this. This is very cool. Never watched my own landing before. Like from an exterior view. Unless I actually landed the plane in the external camera, which has never been a good landing. Now again, it's not good, but I want to know what to work on. At least I can say it's full manual, not autopilot. I even like move the camera around. Let's see. Flyby camera, what is that? Sky camera? No. That's not the one. Oh. Oh, is this the one before? Unless I landed early and I didn't realize. Oh boy. It's not happy with me right now. Okay, so never mind. It's not the actual landing. It's just me messing with the recording. Watch how it actually happens. Okay, I won't change the camera this time. Very loud outside. Were my speed brakes up the whole time a little bit there? I guess so. I feel like they weren't a second ago, but alright. Just watch like this how it went. Did I really land on the grass? No, I didn't. Okay, I'm landing too slow, that's for sure. Almost tail strike, but yeah, okay, good to know. Too slow still, but that was decent, that's for sure. Better than hitting the ground way before. That's cool, I like that recording feature now that I know how to use it. Okay. So again, fully configure ourselves, full flaps immediately. Let's go to 3 on the auto brake. Armed. Speed brakes, they're not out, right? No. Alright, gears down. And I can see the runway. Let's put some throttle in. So we're not sinking like crazy, and then let's trim the aircraft. Let's record now. Okay. Oh, right. Okay. That would make sense why it was fighting me for a second there. Autopilot was still on. Okay, let's give it more throttle and fix this here. Maybe the pitch down because we're only going 135. Sure if it was fully off or not, but now it is. Okay, we're going 145. That's good. Let's pitch down a little bit, so I don't have to keep holding the yoke all the way forward. Or trim, sorry, I keep saying pitch. I am pitching down, trimming down, so then the nose is pitching down. Speed brakes are out. Why is that? I want them armed. Okay. Okay, I'm distracted outside here. Let's pitch down. We're now too slow again. Herself up a little bit better. Still, you can see my speed maintaining around 143, 145 as best I can, just by pitching up and down. We got the trim pretty good, which is nice. So I'm not having to pull back or push forward aggressively. Still going minus 1,500 feet a minute. I think we're gonna be a bit short, so I'm gonna add some throttle here. Not too much. Obviously, it's gonna want to speed up, so we're gonna have to pitch up a bit to maintain that speed. Maintain the same speed. Throttle down a little bit because I think I put it up too much. Wouldn't want me landing your plane. I mean, I could do the systems at least. If I was in a flight and both pilots were down and nobody else knew anything, maybe I could make it work. I wouldn't go handheld though, that's for sure. Get the Cat 3 auto land. I'm more confident setting that up than landing it. Alrighty, we can see we got one red light now, so we're a little high, but we're coming down, which is good. We're a little slow, I'm going to throttle up, just because it's slow to react before I pitch down. There we go, now I'll start pitching down. But I'll shove the nose in the ground first. Obviously you don't want to throttle up for speed, but I'm pitching down for it. Now we're 2 and 2, which is good. We're at the right speed, we're fully configured, it's looking amazing. Not that it will be an amazing landing, but it's a good approach. Add a little throttle. I feel like we're getting on the lower end.
500. 400.
Add a little throttle now as well. More. We are on the lower end, that's for sure.
300. 200.
Okay, now we're back on the glide slope, right in time, which is good. I don't want to land slow, so I don't need to bring the power back yet.
Minimums. 50.
Okay, let's bring it back now. A little bit late, actually, I think.
20.
Whoa!
10.
Alright. I pulled back, but the trim was not set well. That's for sure. As soon as I pulled back, it resisted heavily. That's my fault for not fixing that in advance. It's the first time I had set up good on the approach too. Oh, it was a good approach to mess it up like that. That's alright. That's why I'm practicing. It's just a gauge output right away this time. Set some flaps. Trim down. And set some more flaps. We'll slowly add them this time. Keeping the circle on the airport already. Hopefully we'll make our glide path a little better. Make sure I re-record. I don't even need to see that last one. Alright, starting again. Here we go. Alright, more flaps. We want to start getting down to that speed now, 145. Might do a flaps 30 landing this time. I think that's what we'll do. Obviously the runway's not as long as I originally thought. We'll do speed brake of auto brake of 3. Speed brake is armed, I believe. Alright. We're a little bit quick, so let's pitch up slightly, which is obviously what we also need to do to reach the runway. Try to get it down to the low 140s, or mid 140s, I'd say. I think low 140s is making us a little slow, so we're going to keep it around 145 to 147 instead of 143 this time. These little changes do make a difference. Again, we're also doing a flaps 30 and not 40 landing, which is going to make a decently significant difference. Add a little more power in, so we're not descending too quickly here. I think 1500 feet per minute is still on a little bit of a quicker end though. Let's make sure the gear's down. Pitch down a little bit because we're at 143, and again I want to try a little faster this time. We're definitely not floating. We're coming in too short, if anything. Alrighty. We're at 145, which is good. Let's line ourselves up. Pretty good, coming down at 1400 feet a minute, which is not too fast. It's good. See one red light. I can't tell if there's two, but at least we're not getting all four whites. decent at the approaches, that's for sure. Just not the final
25.
flare. Need to stop focusing on the speed when I get really close to the runway and actually just focus on the runway. That's also a problem I have, is just trying to maintain the speed the entire time. We're a little bit high, I think, so I'm gonna bring the power back a little bit. Not too much because it takes so long to react. That's the Ukrainian flag hug. Flag HUD. Wow, I can't talk. I didn't even notice that actually. It does actually look like that. Okay, a little more. Now we're just in time for yet another horrific landing, I'm sure. We're going full manual to practice. We're definitely a little high, so it's we got to pitch down for speed anyway. So I'll help with being high. But we're actually going to be too low in a minute, so we need some throttle as well. Especially if we're going to try to land on the higher 140s instead of lower. So there we go, we're at 142. That's definitely not higher. We're on the glide path now.
400.
Okay, I'm going to add more power because I'm slower than I want to be.
300.
Let's pitch down to get that speed up
200.
slightly. Okay, let's actually focus on the runway now. Bring the power back.
Approaching minimums. 50, 40, 30, 20.
Idle
10.
power. We're gonna float it a bit this time, but hopefully not crash like last time. Okay. Again, flaring too late because I'm not used to the cockpits being so high. I really get better with that. We're gonna go full brakes. Actually, auto brake 3 is not enough. Yeah, not great. Better than the last one. I just don't feel like it's time to flare because I'm so high off the ground, but that's definitely why I struggle with the wide bodies, because it's even more worse. Alrighty, we did stop the time though, so. Let's try again. I'm gonna end it and start it again just so I can actually bring it a little bit closer, or a bit far. Further than we need to be. You know what, we'll switch it out. We'll still do a narrow body, but let's switch to A320. We're still gonna use the yoke. I know it's not realistic, but it doesn't actually matter, obviously. What should we go with here in terms of livery? Let's go with the Spirit. Let's make it realistic here for how we're landing. Alright, set as rival. And I'm gonna try to just go like maybe here, just a little bit more than it wants, or was initially gonna give us. Set the throttle to about 40% to start. Even though I'm sure we'll have to disengage autopilot right away. Now we're not gonna have a HUD, but that's okay. Of course, I could fully land this using ILS and then taking over at the end, but that's not the point here. Okay, we're not configured at all. Oh, we are, okay. Okay, gear down, throttle down. Gotta figure out what's going on. Autopilot off, autopilot off. Autopilot off. About 12,000 feet, that's not great. Let's speed brake full. Laps full. Wow, this plane is extremely loud for some reason. Wow. Let me just change that for a sec. Sorry, that probably ruined all the ears for everybody. Let's just do that for now. also want to be at about 145. Let's pitch up to maintain that speed on that idle power. Let's pitch up more to maintain 145. I go full flaps. Wow, real loud. I'm not sure if that's just me or not, but let's go with aircraft engines specifically and cockpit sounds down. It's a little better, there we go. I'm not even sure if we'll be able to lose that altitude in time. Pitch up, let's get that 140. Full flaps now, full speed brake. Gear down. Starting is extremely high, so I'll assume we'll have to end the flight and start further back, but we'll try. Try to drop this thing out of the sky. Okay, we got to maintain 140 though. We're pitching up too much now. Otherwise we're going to stall, and really, we will drop quickly, that's for sure. I guess we could do a slip maneuver if I want. Not typical for an airliner, that's for sure. Okay, let's pitch down. So our speed is trending up, so let's just maintain that 140 and see what kind of elevation we're losing here. Yeah, only about 1900 feet a minute. That's not going to cut it. So I'm just going to end the flight before we waste our time here and start us further back. Set as arrival. Let's go ahead and do this again, or this is actually, oh, that's not right. Set as arrival and set as departure. Let's just hope it doesn't start us at 15,000 feet. Takes longer to load in for the A320 for some reason. Alright. Autopilot off. Auto throttle off. Throttle's at idle. Idle power, there we go. Full flaps. Hear the warning. We're at 140. Where's the runway? Okay. I don't think we'll need speed brake. I think we're on a good path here. Such a different view than in the 737. Let's pitch down to maintain that 140. What are you mad about? The autopilot's off. It's always mad about that for some reason. I know that it's off. When I clear the warning, it doesn't like it, so I'm going to use A320. It constantly does that. Press the autopilot disconnect on the handle. Maybe that clears it. There we go. On the joystick, not the handle. Okay, let's throw in some speed brake. Maybe more than that. I'm not even sure what we'll need here. I mean, I could set up for ILS and then just take over to know my glide path here. Let's turn this on. Of course, I don't know the ILS for this airport, so I'm not going to do that. So I'll have 10 more time to stream at the moment. So we'll do a couple more landings, that's for sure. Let's get the gear down, which I thought it was down. That'll definitely help for drag. losing as much elevation as we can. Engines at idle, 140, full flaps, gear out, full speed brake. Oh, the speed brake is not going. What's going on with that? That's odd. Okay, we have no speed brake. It's only going out at 2,000 feet a minute. That doesn't seem right. I mean, they would help with this, that's for sure. Just be full. Doesn't look like they're trying to lift up at all, honestly. Try to do a slip maneuver, which is not orthodox for this, that's for sure. Alright, maybe not fully, let's see. Should have let off a lot of speed, that's for sure. Oh, okay. Oh no, that's not good. Stall with the wings. See if we can recover for that, and then we have lost a lot of altitude. Not sure if we can.
Stand.
2,500.
Stand.
Pull up.
1,000.
Pull up.
There we go. Set the flaps almost to full and put the cure up and pray, essentially. We're back, but we're not making this landing, that's for sure. Maybe we'll try with the A350 and get a couple, maybe at least 2 wide body landings. We'll try. Not that we had any luck with the A320, but I don't have much time to stream today, so I do want to at least put a couple in. I don't know the landing speeds for it, honestly, though. Here, let's see if we can try to at least touch the runway. Now, I don't think this is going to be good, but it's good. Full flaps, arm the speed brakes. I'm not sure why my throttles aren't reacting here. Okay, I'm not sure. That's interesting. We're going 140, which is good, but we're still too high, despite all of that.
One 1,000.
Yeah, we're definitely not
Pull up.
making the landing. Oh, we'll switch over to the A350 and hit a
Four.
bigger airport, and we'll try a couple. See what we can do.
300.
Pull up.
200.
Pull up.
100.
Just exclude this one from the
50.
practice.
40. 30. 20.
Pull up. Pull up.
A little bit quick, huh? We'll land Sunday. Seems to be an issue with my throttle where it's only letting me go into reverse thrust and not actually control the thrust at this point for some reason, as you can tell, because now we're not even going down. But hopefully it's just with the A320 and not with anything else. It was fine with the 737, so I'm not sure what's going on with that aircraft. Yeah, let's try the A350 a little bit. I've hardly flown this plane, so let's give it a bit of a shot. Now this also I don't expect to be as good. I mostly was practicing with the Cessna and the Vision Jet and the 737. I'm happy to get a little bit better at them. At least got some hours in. It's all gonna be a matter of practice. Now these I mean, I have no experience in them, so I don't expect it to be good at all. Let's see, what do I want to go with? Try at least one, but if I have time, we'll do two. Let's go to Toronto here. We're gonna need a lot more space. Not sure of the winds right now, but we'll go 3-3 left. No, I want to be on final. 2-4 right. Is that going to give me a straight final? There we go. Let's hope it's a decent final where I can actually land. Come on. It is a complicated plane to load in. I definitely want to do some more flights with it very soon. So in the Tour of the World series, and we're going to be using it a bit more. And I think I might do some streams that are just chill free flights with the A350 as well soon. So if you want to see more of that plane specifically, just feel free to tune in and we'll do that. And I can definitely fly a lot better when I'm using the real airline procedures and preparing for the flight, the whole flight. Not just starting on the final, of course, but that's what we're here in this stream to practice. I wonder if it's actually going to load in at all. Come on, Flight Sim. Hope everyone's having a good time so far. Thank you for joining the stream. I'd like to get one landing in with it. Maybe we will have to wait till we do an actual stream free flight with it if it's not going to work here. Can I go back still? Okay, good, I can. Let me try to load in one more time. I wasn't completely frozen. If it doesn't work, I'll have to end the stream here. I haven't had dinner or anything since I got home from work, and just figured I'd do about an hour and a half, and we're a little over that, so I think we're good. Obviously couldn't get a ton of landings in, but they take time. And I'm happy with the improvement we did with the Cessna at the beginning, especially. No professional at landing, but of course the theory of pitching for speed and throttle for altitude is one thing to know and another thing to practice, and we did get some practice in and felt pretty confident with that. Kind of get the muscle memory back in. So it looks like it's not going to load in, unfortunately. I'll click it one more time, but otherwise I really do appreciate you guys joining the stream. Obviously pretty short, but I mentioned the Tour of the World series earlier. Feel free to check that out on my channel if you want more of an explanation of the series. It's in the description in the beginning of every episode, and especially the first one. I kind of explain the premise, and we take pictures all over the world and put them in the Discord, so feel free to watch that if you want to see more of my content. And I also got 22 episodes of a career mode. I was one of the first to start since I started right on launch day, so had a lot of time to fly for a long time. So really appreciate all the new viewers coming in for the stream. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to work here, but we'll call it a day here, and I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have a good night.